Oh hi there, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great day. Dr. Disrespect has come back and he pretty much told his side of the story, but for me at least, some things don't make sense and I wanted to talk about it. First off, we have to go back in time to look at his tweet and what he said, but I'm not going to go too much over this, I'm just going to look at the main point. Near the bottom he goes, were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much into the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened, no pictures were shared, no crimes were committed, and he never even met the individual. The entire character of Dr. Disrespect annoys me so much. You kind of think that with something this big you would want to be out of character rather than just being this dick. Remember, he was out of character when he was talking about when he cheated on his wife. So to be in this kind of like, hey champs type thing character, I just don't know, and I find it really weird.
For almost 4 years, champs, the public demanded to hear from the doc regarding the Twitch suspension. I guess since you all missed the point with my personal statement, maybe it's time to tell my side of the story.
This is something that's always confused me. I get not talking about it, but you think that both Twitch and the doc would have had a statement out there to kind of stop all this talk over the years, and people would have just been like, oh, okay, that's fine. At least we kind of know to some degree. Even if it wasn't huge, at least something would be there to talk about. This is fucked in a way because it feels like you're being cocky in a way, like little me. The personal statement you put out was clear. You admitted to messaging a minor, so how could you just try and mock this?
You see, there was a lawsuit pending, and as part of that arbitration, all parties were not allowed to speak publicly about the case. I respected those rules. My lawsuit against Twitch was eventually resolved, as you all know. But even then, as part of the settlement, all parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement. However, if one side violated that confidentiality, then the other side could respond. And again, champs, I respected all the confidential obligations. But apparently Twitch's own disgruntled employees didn't feel the need to abide by those same obligations. Cody Connors, ex-Twitch employee, wasn't even involved, leaks Twitch's reported reason. Years later, Cody, why do this? What was the point? This was settled professionally. And you, knowing how black and white the internet is, you decided, you fucking rat, to leak the reported reason Twitch banned me in 2020. I mean, for what? Cody, why? Did you not know the repercussions from spewing lies about the two-time? Did you not know the repercussions of accusing me, Cody Connors? You see, you don't know shit, and it was obvious from your tweet. You didn't have any firsthand knowledge of my dispute with Twitch. You said that I got banned from Twitch because I was sexting a minor through Whisper's messages? Do you even know what the legal definition of sexting is? I do. And yeah, I used Twitch's Whispers, but trust me, I wasn't sexting anyone.
Now, I'm right in remembering that Cody is an ex-Twitch employee, so technically wouldn't the doc be the first person to talk about it? Now, I'm going to think that this was because people wanted to know. People needed to be warned and people needed to see the side of you. Remember, Doc, your facial expressions have told us a lot.
You know how we run things here. you decided, you fucking rat, to leak the reported reason Twitch banned me.
I don't know if this was a slip, but if you're saying Cody was a rat and leaked the reported reason, then wouldn't this make what Cody said true or something? You confirmed that you were talking to a minor. I'm confused on the way that Doc is now saying that he wasn't, but then he admitted to it. The gaslighting is fucking insane at this point. Now, the tweet from Cody said this. I don't know what the doc is thinking on this. It feels like he thinks he got Cody in a gotcha moment, but yet you admitted to it and wrote it in the correct way. Do you think that you're getting out of this?
You also said the word minor, Cody. I even made sure that word was emphasized in my statement, edited, etc., just to make sure these so-called journalists would pick up on it. And boy, oh boy, did they ever, champs. When you and all these so-called journalists, Cody, fired off your tweets, did any of you consider that the Twitch user may have been over the legal age of consent at the time of the messages? You didn't. Neither did any of these journalists, and neither did Twitch at the time of the ban. You also tried to tell the world that I was trying to meet up with this user at TwitchCon, but you're wrong. Let's set the record straight. I never intended to meet this user ever. We never made plans to meet at TwitchCon or anywhere else, and in fact, we never met in person ever. Your bullshit accusations gave false courage to other former Twitch employees to make shit up as well. I suspect all of you sort of planned and coordinated this attack.
What a fucking idiot. Like, what sort of fucking moron thinks, yeah, I'm gonna PDF file bait myself to all the people around. Like, it's so goddamn weird. You had the chance to say that you didn't do that, and yet you go, yes, this is a big brain move, saying I put this out for millions to see and the media outlets pick this up, and you're like, fuck yeah, they all fell for my master plan. Did you think that this would activate your trap card? This is just a stupid move. You could have chose to show your innocence and you pulled this move? Are you all there, champ? Because I don't think you thought this all the way through. Saying that they may have been over the age, then why did you admit it? Why did you look shocked when you found those messages? None of this makes sense, to be honest. Like, what the actual fuck? Now, let's say that you weren't going to meet said person and Twitch staff said shit about you. Then Twitch could be sued for quite a bit of change. So why would they get involved and get the company in trouble? I don't think Twitch would face a lawsuit just to put something out there. Also, when you said that you were going to YouTube, they would have stopped you because YouTube and Twitch talk because of their department, and they would have kind of mentioned this over and said, hey, you don't want this guy on your platform. Here's the reasons why. Keep it under your hat, though. Again, it just doesn't make sense.
These journalists, these various outlets are sort of just gossip channels now, don't you think, champs? They act like they're just gossip channels now, without any real journalism and real research happening. They report on all this based on leaks from 2 former Twitch employees, one of whom was supposedly on the trust and safety team. If these anonymous sources worked on the trust and safety team at the time of my Twitch suspension in 2020, then you would hope they would tell the truth. But apparently that's just too much to ask. If these former trust and safety team members, and by the way, I know exactly who they are, actually had firsthand knowledge, then what they conveniently left out is, 1, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally admitted that the whisper messages were not sexting. And 2, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally acknowledged that the whispers did not constitute child sexual abuse material CSAM. I'll say it again. Neither I nor the Twitch user exchanged any sexual graphic messages or images.
Okay, a few things in this. First, I will agree that most websites reporting on this have been the same. It's just the same thing that you read. They tell you the entire history of what's going on and not actually put anything in there. It's just kind of really repetitive and boring, and people move on from games journalism because they don't want to keep reading the same thing. Once you read one thing, that's it. But then, if everything can't be looked into or researched because you won't talk about it and Twitch won't talk about it, then the research is going to be a lot harder. Also, you admitted to it, so that's the only information people can work with. Also, if the former employees were on the trust and safety team, then wouldn't that mean they would have the information at hand? Also, when Doc goes, "I know who they are," kind of seems to be a threat. That's how it came off to me. Okay, so let's go back a bit. You admitted that they weren't a minor, but now you're saying that the messages didn't go against the CSAM. So to me, that would say that you were talking to a minor. So which is it, a minor or not a minor? Now, it could be argued that if you didn't say anything inappropriate, then the messages could have been fine. But then you went out and you did your PDF bait.
And look at how it's defined by everyone, champs. Huh? Including these defaming articles. I'm sorry, but mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes taken out of context should have never led to me getting banned from Twitch in the first place. I mean, how would each of you look if all of your private DMs, your text messages, your chats were looked at, dissected, and taken out of context by someone who's deliberately trying to find something inappropriate in those words? And this is not a situation where a victim publicly accuses someone of wrongdoing. That never happened here. We're talking about allegations that Twitch made against me as a half-baked reason for justifying their actions of suspending and shutting down my channel. Allegations that Twitch made without even a legal analysis of whether the whisper messages were legal. You see, I engage with my community. I engage with other streamers. And through Twitch Whispers, I communicate with Twitch users. Conversations that consisted of a variety of playing games and gaming politics, content creation, random stuff. This was the extent of my whispers with this Twitch user. On June 21st, 2020, my ex-Twitch partner manager learns that I exchanged whispers with the Twitch user. And I say ex-partner manager because for years, this guy didn't do anything for me, my community, or my channel. For years. I'm talking no front page love. You're talking about the face of the platform. Right?
You say inappropriate messages like banter and all, but when you know that they are minor, then why did you do that shit? Come on, man, you're old enough to know this. I think that every single content creator knows this. You find out that they are minor, then you don't have banter with them whatsoever. You either mute, block, or whatever. You don't interact with them in that sort of way. For me personally, I really don't know why people can't get this through their heads. Dr. Disrespect mentions about his manager at the time that they didn't do jack shit. And then when a new one came along, then he got banned. I generally thought the face of Twitch would have had more people than one person because, you know, that they would get special treatment because, again, the face of Twitch. Normally, if you're the face of the platform, you would get special treatment more than anything. You would get the entire world laid at your feet.
Anything to Twitch. I'll repeat that sentence one more time just in case anybody missed that one. The Twitch user tells this ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. But this ex-Twitch partner manager encourages the user and even directs them to file a report directly with Twitch, even though the user told him clearly that we never physically met anywhere and that no photographs were exchanged. On June 24th, 2020, Twitch's special operations team receives and reviews the user's report. They find no issues and determine that it did not warrant any further escalation to Twitch's law enforcement response team. That would have been the end. That should have been the end. But that partner manager, oh boy, did he had it out. He had it out for the two-time. He finds out that no further action will be taken, so what does he do? He personally escalates the report to a friend on the Twitch's LER team. The LER team, remember, that's the Twitch's law enforcement response team. He escalates the report to a friend on Twitch's LER team. So a day later, on June 25th, the LER analyst pulls the entirety of the whisper messages and begins discussing them with his director of the LER team. Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time and does not have access to their computer or work files. Let me just remind you, I went through a multi-year, a big-time arbitration, okay? And, you discover a lot of stuff. Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time. The LER analyst cherry picks and sends a few targeted excerpts out of context from the whisper messages to this director. Now, if you do this, you can make anyone's messages look inappropriate, even when they aren't. Within less than 1 hour, this LER analyst and his director have made the decision to suspend me from Twitch. Twitch submits a report to NCMEC. You guys all read those little articles, huh? The NCMEC. Twitch submits that report. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Guess what? As far as I know, and over 4 years have passed, they didn't do anything with the report. As far as I know, they didn't escalate Twitch's report to law enforcement. Mind you, the same people that made this decision admit internally that the messages did not constitute sexting. The same people that made this decision at Twitch admit internally that the messages did not warrant any child sexual abuse material charge. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitted they did not perform any legal analysis of whether the messages exchanged were illegal in any way. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitting that they never investigated the age of consent in the jurisdiction where the user's messages were sent and received. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me without ever interviewing me, the user, or any other third party, including the partner manager. It's fucking unbelievable! I'm not gonna get into every detail regarding my legal case, but these former Twitch employees that claim to have firsthand knowledge, they just don't have a clue. They didn't report any facts. The judge in the case determined that the whispers were not illegal. So then why did Twitch use these messages against me? Why did Twitch treat the doc so differently from their other streamers? I mean, outside of the obvious.
The person that saw these messages and reported you saw this as a danger, and yet they did the right thing to let someone know about it. Now, if this is true about how Twitch handled it and that they half-arsed it, then to me it seems like they need to be looked at how things are. Having someone on holiday and not being able to check things properly, then it should have been looked into by someone else, or that they should have returned first. Part of me wants to sympathize with him, but part of me doesn't. I think that everything should have been looked at by the person who got back from holiday. It would have been better, but then how bad were the cherry-picked messages for them to go, oh shit, let's get rid of the doc? Like, they must have been really bad then. Now, I'm guessing that the director would be high up, so when the LER analysis got in contact again, they should have waited till he got back. Now, I can't remember, but if someone does, please let me know in the comments. But I'm sure that Twitch and the doc talked, and I'm sure they went to court. So again, they would have talked about things there.
But I also didn't do all this shit that they're saying I did. But then that doesn't make a story, right? They wanted media attention. The media wants controversy. And by sensationalizing all of this with big, inaccurate headlines like sexting and sexually explicit, you all got what you wanted at the expense of the tube time.
Let's break it down. Doc gets banned from Twitch, 4 years pass, and people are like, why did Doc get banned? Someone comes and says, hey, the doc talked inappropriately to a minor. The doc comes back with, hey, I did this. And now, like, yeah, people are talking about it for more views. People are going to talk about it because people wanted to know, because you and Twitch wouldn't say it. To some people, this was something that they really wanted to know, and now we do.
We're banned. I've got some examples right here. Example number 1. A streamer that frequently used the N-word while publicly streaming, which constitutes a violation of Twitch's policies if accompanied by hateful intent. Twitch scheduled a meeting with the streamer to ascertain his intent to determine whether his conduct was a violation of Twitch's policies, ultimately determining it was not a breach of Twitch's policies. Why wasn't I called into a meeting? Why wasn't my intent taken into consideration, champs? Example number 2. Streamer was reported for discussing doing things with deceased animals and discussing pedophilia, all while live streaming. Never suspended, but instead given a multi-million-dollar contract. Example number 3, streamer was reported for a sexually explicit stream involving children and telling children to send Snapchats of them playing with themselves. Never suspended, but instead, given a multi-million-dollar contract. It's so obvious that certain Twitch executives, employees involved had personal biases against the doc and used all of this as an opportunity to terminate my contract. Go back and look at the timing of all this too. The doc's termination lines up with 2 preferable, profitable, and expensive streamers leaving Mixer as soon as Twitch knew that Mixer had failed. And go look at the timing. These other expensive streamers needed a new streaming platform. So Twitch rushed through its decision to terminate the 2-time. You see, I shouldn't even be banned from Twitch. It has affected us on so many levels. Back in 2020 and now in 2024.
So now the doc goes on about other streamers and what they have done. Now, I don't know who he's making these allegations about, but if they are true, then this is big, because if Twitch supported people like this, then it's fucked up and it should be talked about more and more, and these streamers should be kicked from the platform and arrested. Let's talk about streamer 2, doing things with deceased animals and discussing PDF. It's horrible. There's no doubt about it. It's fucking vile. And yet, if this is true, as Doc says, he hasn't given any names, why aren't people talking about this? Who are these people? I want to know, so we can fucking call them out and be like, what the fuck? They don't deserve a streaming career if they have done this sort of thing. Streamer 3 is horrible. They are doing sexually explicit things and then having kids doing these things in sexual ways on Snapchat. It's fucking vile. Again, why? Why are these fucking people doing it? It's fucking disgusting. Now, some of the big questions that we're now going to be looking at is, why hasn't anyone talked about this? I know this would have been talked about if people knew about it. Also, thinking about what the doc said, why hasn't he talked about it? Why didn't he bring it up and be like, hey, today we're talking about this? Why hasn't he brought awareness to these streamers in the past? Why would you sit on this information until now? It makes me wonder about 2 things. 1, these are all made up, or 2, it was something that he's been sitting on to use at a time like this, and if these are true, then these are absolutely fucked up. 100% fucked up. Now, saying that Twitch got rid of him for people who left Mixer and then came back, this sounds like jealousy to me, but if you were the face of Twitch, then you would have been paid to come back. But also now kind of thinking about it, going off script, is maybe they didn't want you to come back. The face of Twitch leaving for Mixer, etc., because they gave a better deal, and yet you just literally went, fuck Twitch, I'm out. Ooh, that's probably the reason why Twitch didn't want you to come back as well.
But because of you, Cody, we just lost. Fuck, man. Unfortunately, we have to lay off people from Midnight Society, right? Because of you, Cody. You know, through all of this, we are where we are. And like a fucking man, I'll accept it. What I don't accept is sitting quietly by and let these idiots attack me with false accusations. No. For all these doc haters out there too, oh man. The ones that—
Now, I thought that Doc had left Midnight Society. Why would you know that people were being let go? It's not your company. Now, I do think that he lied and still has some stake in the company. Now, I could completely understand that you would know this if you were still working for the company. Also, to me, it feels like you're trying to make Cody feel bad and try to get people angry at him because people are apparently losing their jobs at the company. But if that's the case, I would like to see proof of Cody absolutely destroying Midnight Society rather than just his tweet. So if you're going to like make accusations on that, show proof, Doc, show proof. Now there are probably Doc haters, but I feel like he's thinking anyone talking about him in a negative way are all haters. I'm going to bring this video to a close, but I wanted to give my final thoughts on this. The main thing is, why didn't you bring more stuff to the table, more receipts, more stuff that we can actually look at and go, oh, okay, yeah, you've proven all of this, rather than what we've got. Also, the whole thing of you being PDF bait, I literally don't understand that at all, and find that very, very weird because it makes no sense whatsoever. It's fucking stupid. And these streamers that you've mentioned, then what are their names? Why haven't you talked about this a lot sooner? How come no one else has reported on what they've done? It feels really weird that you would say this without actually giving any evidence as well. So I feel like that's a little bit weird too. I don't know if you just made it up or you were trying to deflect onto these people. And if Twitch is covering up for them, then we need to figure out why, because this is something really, really bad. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for listening and watching. If you like this sort of video, then like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.